Bears have one intention and one intention only, and that's to draft Caleb Williams, trade Justin Fields.
It's the pop-up show.
It's a pop-up show.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop show.
It's the pop-up show.
Something's happening, something going on.
TTNL back live to get it on.
$7 a month, don't need a coupon.
We worldwide, the flag's waving strong.
So rise in your page and with breaking news.
Bring a whole lot of truth, no pay-per-views.
Could be called Shane or DDB.
Just another branch on this family tree.
The tape never lies like a boy JC.
No narratives allow how we rock the beat.
Breaking news on time, now we ain't no bullets.
Jealous networks make us out to be villains.
Unbreakable truths like a man Bruce Willis.
We stand tall in the city like the Willis.
Tower, over the competition we devour.
Grants every time like the slide on Bears Hour.
Others fall asleep when the apple is bitten. We're taking out the frauds who here to Great Britain. You can't run that eye, brother, who are you shin? Patrons of the truth, this network spin.
Old man reporting live from the dungeons. We keep it real, tears from chopping onions. Bears Nation on the rise, be on the coverage. Hot off the press, hot fresh out the oven. It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
The pop-up.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
What?
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
TTNL.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I am going live to discuss what is going on in the world of Caleb Williams and the draft. I've never in my life seen anything like this whatsoever. It's a reality that I don't even have words to kind of try to understand. We talked about having hope. We hope there's hope. And finally, the Chicago Bears do have hope. And here we are with all these people creating narratives like nothing I've ever seen in my life. And I was just going through a post that I put up on Facebook. And hold on one second. I'm going to get, just so I could shut my door here. I have no idea. But you get to see the art. Yes, you got to see the artwork because my son must have opened up the studio doors. Anyway, good morning. Happy Good Friday to you all. And I had posted a while ago where Ryan Poles spoke his truth and said, hey, I'm having a hard time trying to find anybody that doesn't like this guy. I just posted that. I said, I'll just leave this here. It was on my Facebook page. So I don't have my Facebook notifications on because then it would be like I wouldn't be able to sleep. So, and listen, I'll bring anybody on. Super chat is open. I'm going to take every question, draft, Caleb, anger, whatever you got. Throw it at me as we get to Easter weekend. But never in my lifetime have I seen anything so divisive, so disheartening. I told my wife it's demoralizing to see people make stuff up and it becomes truth. Now, I've been the guy. I've messed up in my life. I have. I've had mess ups in my life, but I've never, ever made up a story about a friend or an opponent and made it to be true to people. And it's the first time in a long time, and when I say long time, I'm talking 1942, that the Chicago Bears are on the precipice of getting this position solidified. And I look at this, and I am not a fan of Kyle Brandt. I've made that very clear. I've called Kyle on the carpet for flip-flopping. But his rant, his words resonated with me. Give credit where credit is due. That's what this is about. TTNL has been about focusing on the tape for the truth on your Chicago Bears, your upcoming opponent, your NFL draft coverage, your free agent signing. There's not going to be any manipulation there. So I come on live because my bud, obviously you know how much I love David Kaplan and the friendship Shane and I have with him, that Greg Braggs actually introduced me, because I was a guy that didn't really know David Kaplan, and I didn't grow up in Chicago or Boston. I grew up in Connecticut, so I didn't know. I just felt like this was shock jock stuff. I don't like that in sports. I want your complete truth and analysis. I just want to hear the truth. And when I hear guys just throwing shit out there and see what sticks, it annoys me. Like Lawrence Holmes annoys me. Why? Because he's just throwing stuff out there that doesn't resonate with the tape. So when I see Dan Orlovsky just throw stuff out there, it annoys me. It annoys me. So because it doesn't even fit into the realm of truth, doesn't even fit into the realm of what you're seeing and what you're doing. See, I grind because I have to be in front of the camera, putting my name and my face to it. So I am going to do the work to make sure I'm not embarrassed. Am I going to get stuff wrong? Yeah, but I'm not going to just copy paste somebody else's thoughts. That's not how I do it. I had a great patron. Phil called out Nagy, Leno, Fox, and he goes down the list of things. At what point are you not going to listen? Of course there's wrong in there. But I'll put my reputation and I'll put my stance on it. I always admit, shit, I was wrong about Mooney. I didn't think this guy was going to be able to hold up the way he was built. Jervon Dexter. I don't know, man. The tape is telling me he's slow getting off, react. I've coached that system, that Florida read and react. I'm not a fan of it. Maybe it'll transition. If it does, I'll be the first to tell you, wow. And that's what this is. All of these other things are chasing. They're chasing it. I didn't get to see the clip yet, but I'm sure it was about, and Ivan could pull that clip of Caleb responding. But again, back to Kyle. I've never hidden my truth on Kyle and what I thought of him in regards to his Bear fandom. But yesterday, Good Morning Football, he went on a rant and a tirade of truth. And I stand up for that because he tapped into the place that it's so important for us to understand and embrace. It was the place of humanity. At the end of the day, Bears fans, I don't care if you were a field stand boy or a Caleb fanatic. All I know is I went by the tape. And our goal here at TTNL for me and Shane is to get the Chicago Bears to be perennial winners. Winners. So the goal of watching and studying this stuff is to look at the coaches, look at the players, look at the free agents, look at the GM, look at the beat reporters, look at all these other haters out there. Look at guys stealing our stuff. Look at our tape analysis of it. And then when I put that out there for free and there's 85,000 views on it, and then you see someone talking and using your words, wait a second. This isn't the right thing. When your wife knocks you over the head and is like, you need to go behind Patreon like Jim Larrison's telling you. Because you're doing the work and people are still. That's why. So when I come on this show and get back, as I'm on this rant, to the post of, and I don't know who made the post. I just shared it because it was exactly what I said. Because I've talked to Caleb Williams' teammates, 3 of them. I've talked to coaches that have coached him, and I've talked to coaches against him. I've talked to a few scouts that are scouting him for teams. And every one of them, to a man, had nothing but positive things to say about Caleb Williams' character. And then it just, as a man, it gets me to the point where I'm looking at my own child. I'm looking at this world, this football crazy world, whether it be high school, youth, college, NIL, the way the sports world is going. I'm like, how is this okay that people are making stuff up about that he said? And you saw us this week talking with Alex Shapiro. If you didn't see that interview, and Alex was outstanding. And he was talking about people in his camp or around him saying these things that might have leaked to an agent that was pissed that he didn't go with them, and then all of a sudden they're spreading this to a rumor, and you're in LA, and now it's becoming truth to people that are jealous. Are jealous. Happy Easter, Phil. Isaac Siegel. Thank you. 20. Much love to you and your family. Also, this is ridiculous with Caleb. I listened to Jason Whitlock and the head guy from oh my God, going after Caleb for working to destroy masculinity in America. Shaking my head. Let me just say this. If your homophobic, ignorant ass is out there and you showcase, and I'm talking about this coach from Last Chance U, showcasing your inability to communicate with any kid, that you have to go to a level, and I'm the first guy that'll throw a swear here and there, as you know. But the way you saw yourself get fired for the job you did, and this isn't about whether or not you know football or can coach it. This is an embarrassment that you have any kind of say based on what it is you did and got fired from your job for doing. You're checking on the masculinity of America. You are a travesty in America. I don't even remember this coach's name.
Phil, he's always on Instagram. I always see him popping up on my feed, and every time I hate it because like the guy talks big shit like he's a big time coach, but he's there, like a slob on his recliner, talking shit. He might have some connections here or there, but
right.
Dude, you didn't do your job. You didn't do your job at all. When you had a chance,
right.
and look at that. Like look how that.
You're supposed to be helping kids.
Exactly.
Instead of you, listen. I have family that are homosexual, am I to judge them based on? I just think in this day and age, with so many people having the rights and the feelings and whatever they have, to us to judge and be in these positions where you're coaching and leading young people, your ignorance and bigotry, you should be the last one talking. And Jason Whitlock, the hypocrite, great. Thank you so much, Isaac. I totally, you got me fired up. That's what this is about. Rant, fired up Friday. It's supposed to be Good Friday. So I went back to this post, and I'll get to the draft stuff and all that, I promise you. And I'm reading it. And I'm like, holy shit. There is all these people spewing nonsense that are made up. So I wrote a post, and David Kaplan, ESPN, read it on the air. I'm going to play it for you so I don't have to read it. I'll let Cap read it.
What's going on? I want to read you something, Shay. Oh, yeah? Class, yes. My friends, Phil and Shane. Yes. You're the best. You're the greatest. My friend Phil Ottochian, who his dad's in the Hall of Fame as a football coach. They break down more tape than there's hours in a day.
That's right.
He writes this. Wow. When I say humanity is lost, please read. I can do a whole show, an entire show, just on the outrageous, hilarious, misinformed, angry, hypocritical comments about Caleb Williams. The amount of out of work scouts and GMs who are psychologists, doctors, therapists, social media investigators, life coaches, psychics, philanthropists, clergy, judges, jurors, plumbers, bricklayers, etc. We have electricians talking about time in the pocket, soccer moms talking about divas, carnival ticket workers talking about work ethic. We got stay off my lawn retirees talking about the loss to Notre Dame. We got grandmas talking about money, tile workers talking about pink nails. This may just be a sign for a franchise that hasn't had a quarterback this good since 1942 Sid Luckman. This guy will get the Chicago Bears multiple championships. Haters, he's the one. Couldn't agree more. So well
Thank
said.
you, Shay.
So well
Fucking
said.
perfect, dude.
And thank you, Cap. And thank you, Ivan. And it was like a mini rant in writing because I literally went down. I had no idea who these people are. And I clicked on them. And I looked at what they did for a living. And I listed what they did. Tile worker. Tile workers telling us he's holding the ball too long. He's not watched one day, minute, second of tape. He saw a highlight and he heard Louis Riddick or whoever, Dan Orlovsky, whoever. There was a judge in there. He lists himself as a judge. Maybe he's a judge on American Idol. I don't know what he judges, but he certainly can't judge talent. He certainly can't. And the electrician, it went on, and they're interfighting with one another in regards to Caleb. And here's this kid who went to college to play quarterback, went out there and did what he did. Now, you can disagree, but the one pathway to professional football is through college. There's another one that's a rarity. There's an Eric Swan story, 1 out of 700 million that never go to college and somehow find it to the NFL. That's a rarity. You have to go to college. When you have this kind of talent, guess what? It's even worse now. NIL, colleges are looking, they don't give a shit about your grades. They're looking to get you to help them win at their program so you can sell you on going to the NFL. Let's not pretend here. But Caleb Williams has done it on his resume at 2 different schools. I could get into the analytics and I could get into the statistics and I can destroy any narrative because I have what those statistics and analytics don't have, the tape. And the statistics back up the tape. 100 out of 100 right now. Because there's a narrative that he sucked after the Notre Dame game. Yet me and Shane went on our Patreon channel and showed 2 games after the Notre Dame game where he threw for 391 yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for another. I showed you Mike Mayock talking about his second half performance and what he did after the Notre Dame rumors and so on and so forth. Guy that doesn't get paid by someone's agent to knock somebody down in knock somebody down season. I saw Kyle Brandt compare him and use the term Kobe Bryant, and then I see haters hate that have never scouted or coached and doesn't understand the context with which a young football player put on a pedestal by his performances, not by a narrative. Believe me, no one gets put on a football pedestal with a narrative if it isn't proven. That's one thing I could tell you. There could be basketball stories, but football, nope. Guess why Justin Fields got you a 7th round pick? And I say 7th round because a 6th conditional is equivalent to a 7th. Because his tape said he was average to below. That's why you could only find a 6. We want to do right by Justin. We just can't find anybody that wants him because it's going to be a lot of work. Is he going to make those same mistakes he's made since Ohio State, playing with 7 first-round picks and then another 13 on defense? Look at the truth of this stuff. It's right in front of your face. The GM of the Chicago Bears is going out of his way to tell you. On Rich Eisen, he tells Rich Eisen, yeah, it hurt. My son loved him too.
He was in for Halloween. His son was Justin Fields for Halloween.
But at the end of the day, I'm doing what's best for the Chicago Bears and at the most important position. Mm-hmm. What he isn't going to do is listen, Justin sucked. Listen, it's just what it is on tape. He just wasn't good enough, and we couldn't find a trade partner. What do you think is a miracle? You had all these freaking guys on the angry retirees on their lawns. Stay off my lawn. I'm not going to be a Bears fan anymore.
Man.
I hate this. They're doing the wrong thing because I said so. No. Man. No, you're not.
Phil, real quick,
Yes.
Matthew P, excuse me. I think he had a really great comment just because it really brings in everything, and not only Caleb but Justin Fields and this whole offseason. Everyone's lost their minds. It's supposed to be about football, but so much about this isn't. And it's 100% truthful because if you go look at Justin Fields, everybody loves Justin the person, right? Everybody loves Justin the person, but when you look at the tape, like you've been saying, it's not there, right? The leader, the guy in the locker room, the man, all that is there, right? That's who Justin Fields is. But on the field, on the tape, what we need to be successful as a football team is not there. And will it ever be there? I don't know. But also when it comes to Caleb Williams, all this stuff, like you've said in that rant, that Cap read, and I was on fire when I heard it on the radio. I texted you guys right away. I was like 100% man. Everything about Caleb, time and time again, and I said it on my show too, it just gets shot down. Every single time gets chopped down. Every fraud fucking comment, every rumor, everything that has been brought up about him gets consistently shot down. Now, the last one, the biggest one that needs to get chopped down, the biggest question or the biggest rumor is about his play, right? That's what we have to say. I think that's the final,
well, that's where
hurdle that we have to get past for people to be.
That's why I wanted to come on today, and rant and do a pop-up show with you, the TTNL fans, and maybe some of you that have never or have been told about TTNL or pretend that you don't know. That's the funny fucking thing. Mm-hmm. I have no idea everybody knows who TTNL is. Everybody does. And that's fine. You want to pretend, and I know the pretenders, but the reality is I am going to speak the truth of what it is that I was shown on tape by the person, not by somebody else doing it. I'm not going to go and worry about a kid's painted fingernails. I'm not worrying about a kid's girlfriend, how pretty she is, how many freaking Grammys she's won, and where she cheers on Sunday. I don't care if you're purple. I don't care if you got purple hair. I don't care if you have a mission to, save rock heavy metal music. I don't care what your thoughts are. All I'm doing is watching the tape for the truth for the Chicago Bears. Last year, it was Darnell Wright that was the truth for us here at TTNL. And the Chicago Bears, guess what? They agreed. This year, for the last 2 years, I've said, Caleb Williams, 100%. That's your 100%. I appreciate you, Chi-Town finest. And Ivan, put up some of these comments. I just want to finish my thoughts here. So, in regards to Justin, he's gone. He's gone. And Caleb Williams is going to be your quarterback. Now, I've seen, he's going to bust in the NFL. And I want to speak on this. John Elway, amazing quarterback coming out of college. Drafted by the Yankees, held out, didn't want to play in Baltimore, refused to play. You know the story. That was Elway before Eli. But his resume was his tape. His resume was his tape. Did all of those people know that John Elway was one day going to go to the Hall of Fame and become a GM and do the thing? No, they didn't. That's college football. That's the minor league to get to the NFL. There's no other way except that 1 in 700 million, Eric Swan. There's no other way. So yeah, on the precipice of this, leave your bus story at the door. Just wait and see. That's what the only thing I've seen on tape is the dance to get you in the door. Caleb Williams is the best I've ever scouted. And I scouted Peyton Manning. That's when I first started truly watching college tape. So I started there. So I would take him over Peyton Manning, who, by the way, was labeled, he can't win the big one. He can't. He's going to bust. Take Leaf over him. Now we got Ryan Leaf.
Well, even
talking about quarterbacks now.
Even that narrative, though, that he can't win the big one. We've talked ad nauseum about how atrocious that defense was. You guys read off the stats or the
UFC. Yeah, I was talking about Peyton at that time.
But I mean, in comparison to Caleb, with not winning the big one and not being able, there's people out there that are questioning his ability to win football games, and I'm like, those numbers that you read off about the USC defense, the points they've given up, like I said, those are like Powerball numbers. You have to score 7 touchdowns just to stay in the fucking game. Like that's hard for anybody to do, and he did it. He kept them in the game time and time again.
Well, yeah, and just jumping around to that, I mean, I know somewhere I have the text from Shane because I made it into a graphic for the show, and I could read off the amount of scores. Here it is. Look at that. Starting in week 4, you're a quarterback now. You just won the Heisman last season. In college, guess what? It's not like the NFL. All the guys don't return, right? They graduate. They go to the NFL. They transfer and they get in the transfer portal. So starting in week 4, the USC defense gave up 28 points, 41, 41, 48, 34, 49, 52, 36, and 38 points in the final 9 games that Caleb Williams played in. That's an average of 40.7 points per game that your quarterback, prior to walking on the field, has to know, his coach has to know, the defensive coordinator has to know, the alumni have to know, the athletic director has to know that the only way we are going to win and possibly win a division is if you, Caleb Williams, can get us there. Because the only way in a team sport like football that relies so heavily on the most important person, the quarterback, that you're going to be able to face 40.7 points per game is if you go out there and ball out each and every time. And guess what? And I know Joe Claddy said it, who's outstanding analyst and play-by-play. Mike Mayock said it. Daniel Jeremiah said it. Guys that I will put so much respect on have all said it. Matt Waldman said it. When you're going into that, you're going to have some moments where you have to play hero ball. But if he didn't, your team wouldn't win 3 games. So as a competitor, as a coach, you have to understand that you're asking a lot of your quarterback to do it, and he delivered. And in a game where after the Notre Dame game against the eventual runner-up to the national championship Michigan Wolverines, the Washington Huskies, Caleb Williams goes out there, puts up 42 points, throws for 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, runs for another one, and has shown one of the most epic performances you'll ever see a quarterback do. Take that, Dan Orlovsky. Go watch that tape before you watch this run for fucking 230 yards Jaden Daniels tape. Watch the Washington tape and tell me there's not a better showcase of quarterback play than that game with Caleb Williams, because I'll tell you, the cheat code, spoiler alert, there isn't. It's the best game you'll see because it's everything you expect an amazing first overall pick to showcase on tape. That was the mic drop for me. And then he played 3 more games after that and was outstanding in those. Again, you're battling the defense that can't get a stop. The only way you can is if your defense gets an interception and you're getting an extra possession. See, football is won in the trenches and all of this stuff that you hear a lot. But the reality is, if you ain't got a quarterback, you're not winning. Not at that level. Not at the major college level and not at the NFL level. I've gone and here. Okay, so yeah. Then we had the pink showcased phone, a clear phone with the rose iPhone. Listen, I was at T-Mobile. What phone do you want? I want the 15 update. Good. I got 2 choices for you. I got I forget what it was, blue or black. I'll take the black one. Okay, that's what I did. What if you only have one choice and it's lavender? I don't know the stories, but I do know people made a big deal about Caleb's phone case. So Caleb, and I'm unfortunately, I got about 6 or 7 people that I love that I just shook my head that they sent it to me because the homophobic stuff is just, it's disheartening at this point. It really is. It's like, come on, be better. It's 2024. We're worrying about stuff that doesn't even matter or exists. You don't know. I had my buddy send me a picture of Caleb Williams with his girlfriend, who is a salsa dancer or whatever. Like, okay, I don't care what he is. I don't care about his girlfriend. I don't care. All I care is if this kid wants to be the best. That's what you should be worrying about. And guess what? He does. But again, they were trolling him, and I'm sure he sees it way more than I did. And here's his response to it that Ivan's putting up here.
It's been a long week for you. Lucky you got me though. Let's see what that phone looks. What the phone look like? Let's see what color the phone is.
Wallet white.
Look at his personality. Wallet's white.
Phone is pink. Face is clear.
What the fingernails look like?
Nails are clear. Lips are pink. Your girl love them.
So he responds like that. And you just got to love his personality, and he's playing along with it because he's been on a pedestal for his whole entire life. He's been placed as a certain way that athletes do. Alan Bratcher's also a salsa dancer. But you see his personality. He's living it. And he's got this brightness about him. As I've worked with youth, whether it be in the juvenile correctional or when I was a program director of a boys and girls club or coaching, all of these different personalities, male, female, whatever they identify with, all of them are individual people. And there are some that are bright. And when I mean bright, I don't mean smart. I'm talking about their disposition is so engaging and bright, and you want to be around those people because they live life unfazed by what other people think. And there's some that aren't. And you have to be there for both of those. And I'll tell you what. I saw that comment. I'll tell you what. Watching Caleb Williams tape is one thing, but seeing the person and the disposition and I've watched every interview with this kid to try to see. And the difference for me is there's a confident, not arrogant person that's engaging and bright. It's something different than we will ever be around. And it's exciting for me. And it's just, and I think we live in a dystopian time where everybody wants to find something negative or be the first to break some sort of story, that there's people out there that'll go to crazy lengths to manipulate the truth to break a story. There were people out there, as you know, Ivan, that were saying this is all a farce. I know what Ryan Poles is doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's building up Caleb. I broke the code, and they're going to trade it for a haul. And they're going to go out there and pretend that they're never going to trade Fields. And I'm telling you that right now.
No.
It's never going to happen. But it did happen. They were wrong. I lived that. Because I was on the other side, like, if this GM is dumb enough not to trade Justin Fields and focus on Caleb Williams, then it's the same old shitty, sorry, end of the division, 1 year of winning out of 20 Chicago Bears. Because you're not chasing greatness. You're chasing convenience. You're chasing a known commodity, not an unknown. So for the first time in my life, in my rant was, since Sid Luckman, the Chicago Bears are getting a person that's so perceived, analyzed, hated on because of jealousy, that they're going to start winning. That they're going to start winning because of him. Embrace it. End time watch, man. $2. Does wide receiver or DN at number 9 make more of an impact? Well, I'll say defensive end, pass rusher. I always go back to this end time watch, man. And I'm going to answer all your questions. And if you want to come on Send a super chat that you want to come on. I don't care what it is. And we'll get you on to talk about this. Because I have time. I have time. But I say this. There's a holy trinity in management of football, and there's a holy trinity on the field of football. And on the field of football, it starts with the quarterback. That's the top. Then I put number 2 is the pass rusher. Number 3 is your left tackle. Number 4 is your corners. This is how I rank the importance if I'm building a team. Quarterback, pass rusher, offensive tackle, corner. Because if I have good corners, I could do whatever I want. I could play man, I could blitz, I could do what I want. So that's where the priority. The Bears focused on corner. Look at what they've done. Let's go through what I'm saying. Ryan Poles inherited Justin Fields, right, Ivan?
Mm-hmm.
He inherited him. He looked at this roster, whether you believe they tanked or not. They got the first overall pick. They look at the quarterbacks last year. They traded down. They got Darnell Wright. So they went to number 3. They traded for the number 2 and Montez Sweat. So they filled the holy trinity. They filled a 2 spot and a 3 spot. They filled a 2 and a 3 spot in last year. Now this year, they're like, let's look at the quarterback last year, see if he's the top choice for us moving forward. And he wasn't. I'm sorry you were wrong. I'm sorry. And the ultimate mic drop, whether you want to, and I don't care who you are. I'm telling you, I can show you the tape of Justin. It isn't good. Brad Biggs, another guy that me and him have had our issues with one another. Him more so than me, him towards me more. But he's a great reporter. He really is, and has a very good connection to the Chicago Bears and the league. And guess what he was told? The reason why Justin Fields was traded for such a low commodity was his tape. Well, he said film, but I'll say tape. And then, hold on, Ivan, with this.
Oh, all right.
And then, that's out there. So now they traded him away. Your GM went out there, spoke on it. All these other people, first round, he's going to get a first. He didn't. He got a 7th or 6th conditionally, which is a 7th. And then you are there in your holy trinity now. You've gotten the first overall pick. Guess what? You still sitting there thinking they're taking Jaden Daniels or a trade down? And I had a guy show me his draft, his mock draft, Ivan. He traded down to 3, took a receiver and a pass rusher. Where's the quarterback, bro? Oh, it's going to be Tyson Bagent. They're going to sign Ryan Tannehill. No, they're not.
The
It's
cult
Caleb
of Tyson
Williams.
Bagent. The cult of Tyson Bagent has come out, Phil, and like it's like on the fringe. You know what I mean? Like there's a few here and there, but I'm just like, look, Tyson Bagent is a good story, undrafted, playing in the NFL. He's a good kid. Like it's a good story. I'm proud to have Tyson Bagent on the team. He worked his ass off to be here. He's a backup quarterback. It's what it is. Like his tape says backup quarterback.
Story doesn't end there though,
and that's fine.
He can possibly be something more. He honestly could possibly be something more. I'm never going to doubt anybody, but he is not the reason you've moved on from Justin Fields.
No.
That's the truth. if you're thinking they did that because they're going to continue with Tyson Bagent, I got news for you. No, it's not happening. They're drafting Caleb Williams. We've told you that for months. So that's, here we are. Back to your $2 question. Holy Trinity, quarterback, pass rusher, offensive lineman. Now you have to make that choice now. Offensive tackle, rather. The draft is going to fall now. You're going to take Caleb. The next team's going to take their guy. The next team's going to take their guy. How that pushes people down defines two things now: your board and how you rank them, and that holy trinity. Mm-hmm. So your GM went out there and said, you know what? Here we are in the second round, my first year here. We don't have a first round pick. I'm taking 2 defensive backs. Then he comes back last year, Darnell Wright, 2 more corners. You got a starting corner and Terrell Smith can potentially push to start as well. You re-signed a corner from your previous administration and made him the highest paid defensive back on your team. So you're building your roster exactly the way I was taught by my father how you would want to build your roster. Quarterback, pass rusher, offensive tackle, corners. Now we're cooking with gas because you have the first overall pick. You get Caleb. Now the draft starts falling. If there's Odunze and Verse there, you have to go with Verse. You have to. The reason why that is because pass rusher takes a priority. And we did this exercise with Shapiro, and he could have gotten Lad McConkey for me in the second round. But he got Verse in a trade down, right? Mm-hmm. Because the priority is the position there. I hope that long answer answers that question. You wanted to add something.
Yeah, just real quick. Just because I do have a favorite in this Verse Turner kind of battle. I'm with you with Verse. I think Verse is just ready to go. He's a little more ready to go. I think Turner is going to need some time to grow as a pass rusher. Great athlete, but Verse is a guy you could put in there, I think, right now, and he could be effective for you.
Me and you, then you're with me then.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, since you brought that up, tomorrow night, since Ivan brought it up, the Edges, the Holy Trinity #2 on Draft Mob. Become a patron at thetapeneverlies.com. You're going to see all 3 of these guys. Verse, Turner, Latu. And I'll tell you what, they're pointing at you. They're pointing at you. Sign up now. You want to watch some tape, have some fun and some laughs tomorrow night? We'll be live right there. And Ivan Vargas has cut this tape. He's like, Phil, I'm going to continue to cut it because I'm having so much fun.
I'm invested in the defensive lineman this year. So it's like, so that's why I was like, I've been very passionate about Verse. And every time I hear, Verse or Turner, or I see Turner going higher than Verse, it's not reality in my eyes. I mean, people could have their own opinions, but I think, like you said, you and I are on the same page.
Shane is on the other page, salsa dancing.
Is he salsa dancing?
Chris R, $4.99. What's got me fired up isn't any of the fake takes on his fashion. We've already had that already. It's the astroturfing of character assassin. Chris R, thank you so much. It is the most obnoxious and annoying thing when people throw stones in glass houses. It really is. Like, criticize someone's tweet, criticize someone's stupidity of what they might have said on a show. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Making up stories and just destroying someone's character when there's no validity to it is a disgraceful. I've never heard the term astroturfing. Can we look that up? But I like it, Chris, because you're 100% right. It's a disgrace. It's infuriating. It's so annoying. And that's why I wrote that post, Chris. And then I'm like, I had no idea. Like I said, it's got all these laughing emojis. And the post is a picture on my page. Let me read you some of these comments real quick. I'll just leave this here. This is on my page. It's Caleb hugging his backup quarterback. Okay, see the pic? And it's Ryan Poles. I believe CHGO might have put this graphic out, or 670. I don't want to not give credit. I'm having a hard time. They're quoting Ryan Poles. I'm having a hard time finding a person who doesn't like him or even love him. That's it. And it's a picture of Caleb hugging his backup quarterback, who, by the way, we've talked about. Here's the AstroTurf thing. The deceptive practice of presenting an orchestrated marketing or public relations campaign in the guise of unsolicited comments from members of the public. Thank you, Chris R. You've given me an HR course of what astroturfing is, and it's perfect because that's 100% correct, right? It's 100% correct. I wonder where Jim Larison is right now. I had my guy Aaron Lemming from Windy City Gridiron. Amazing. He jumped in here. Amazing. Now that NFL teams have started speaking to others about him, all those bullshit rumors about his character have gone up in flames. I've never seen a fan base so adverse to taking one of the best quarterback prospects in the last 40 years and try to drag him down. And I agreed with him. Then we're going to go further down because this is where I don't know who anybody is. Like Dale Barnes. I have no idea who Thomas's brain off is. Sorry, but this team hasn't impressed the fans and they're not happy. Even with the Bears taking Williams, they are going to lose and are going to be ranked 22nd out of 32 teams. Third, I'm sorry, is not good. When did Thomas become a psychic? He knows. He knows. He knows what's going to happen. Someone get Thomas.
Crack the code. Another code cracker?
He's no code. William Iverson. Do you want to know what let's see what William Iverson does. He's a former research development technician of waste management resolutions. So basically, he's a garbage man. He's trying to pretty it up. This is what William had to say. He's played along kids just out of high school, some making money off his success before even playing pro sports. He needs to go back to college and learn. Thanks, William. Good stuff. Coach Bob Bounds. It's a com. I won't read all of them. Coach Bob Bounds. He doesn't tell you what he coaches, no schools, nothing. Coach Bob Bounds says, head case. Unfortunately, that's his. Here's Leaf DeWolf. Leaf DeWolf. He's a computer genius. He describes himself. I love to work on and repair computers. Okay. Leaf DeWolf writes, the dude is going to be a problem for whatever team drafts him. His ego is way too big, and his dad is trying to run the show as a huge, huge red flag. All the BS about trying to get partial ownership or whatever teams draft him, the crap about his medical history at the combine, he pretty much everything he did and did not do at the combine is a giant red flag. He's a bust. From the computer repairman. What? Says Amari Winter, who has no job. Come to social media, buddy. You'll find it hard to find anybody who loves him. It's a laugher today. No, millions of hardcore football fans who know what they've seen with their own eyes and know that maturity and character and ego and being humble go way long way for QBs in the NFL. Millions and millions have seen that his ego,
and millions.
I'm deciphering this for you. His character and ego is on display on the field. That goes a longer way than his play on the field. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Dude, it goes. I'm not even done. I think people need to understand English and read the sentence again. What Ryan Poles is talking to actual NFL teammates, teachers, coaches, trainers, principals, students, councils, all that cross paths with the kid. And he's sharing that, not Carlos Santi Beedman. All right. He's not talking to you, Thomas Brainoff. Toby, many of your fans don't like him. You know, the ones that buy the tickets and pay your paycheck, you're going to be fired. He's a bust. It just continued to go on and on. So that's why I wrote that. And the character assassination is incredible.
I'll say this,
yes.
Phil. If you're gonna judge him like that, but by these rumors and these lies again that continue to, like I said, continue to get shot down, by all means, go be a fan of somebody else.
Cheer for the Steelers.
When the fucking winning happens, don't come to the party. All right.
Please.
I used to say this about people that made fun of the Cubs. And I saw when Theo Epstein came in and they started building their championship team, I said, when the people that were talking shit the most, don't come to the party, right? Don't show up when the winning happens. All right. That's my a call out to all the haters of Caleb Williams, all the people who want to hold on to Justin and the great trail of tears that they've had for him. Don't show up. Don't be there when the winning happens with Caleb Williams.
Exactly, Zorich. And I know Chris is feeling the same way I am. Listen, if you want to come on here and share your feelings, please do it. Christopher Brown, my boy, what's up? $5. I just want the best player at QB possible. Caleb is the guy, period. Exactly. And we have been saying that forever. We haven't just changed our opinion because we were wrong about the Justin Fields trades, and now we're going to turn around and say we have never said it. We're going to change everything and go in a different direction and say we never said it. Pretend that we didn't say it. But Caleb was a shithead 3 months ago, but now he's not. Well, Justin was the man. Justin, nope. That terrible 4-letter podcast doesn't know. They don't know. Tell you right now, they don't know. I broke the code. I'm right. They're wrong. No, you're not. I'll compare him to whoever the fuck I want to compare him to. If it's going to be Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, or Dan Marino, that's what's going to be compared to give you an illicit look at what reality is when it comes to watching tape. I've said this many times that Caleb Williams is the best I've ever scouted. And there's things on tape that showcase a Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Dan Marino type of traits. Doesn't mean he's going to go, and I'm stealing from Shane, on that career arc. I'm just looking at the dynamic talent. We destroyed every narrative. And I know my boy, and I forget the name of his page because I want to give him a shout out. He did all of the structured in pocket, 20 minutes of showing Caleb structured in pocket. Well, we did 2.5 hours of showing you tape of Caleb showcasing structure in pocket on college football tape, not even on highlights, just tape. That doesn't lie. It's not CGI. I'm not Steven Spielberg. I'm not making up fucking E.T. here. So you could bring up anybody's name and I will destroy them with the actual tape. Don't care who you are. You were wrong. Go out there and apologize. You were wrong about Justin Fields. The NFL spoke about Justin Fields. Gerald Mundy Jr., DDP, you're the truth, bro. Been following TTNL for years. Let him know. Caleb is the future. Well, I'm going to tip my hat to him too, Gerald. I thank you. I thank you. Because when you don't have some personnel bias, Shane talks about this. I've talked about this. There were people that used to work for us that don't anymore because they couldn't get away from their fandom. That they were so afraid of talking about negatively a player on the team and how that would resonate with that per se player and worry about what a fan base is going to say to you and disagree, that you just kept it quiet, kept it simple, and didn't tell the truth. I don't do that. That's why I took heat from Mrs. Leno when I was calling out Charles on tape. On tape. Not the person, the football player. And guess what? As a coach, as I put my face on here, someone's going to talk about me. That comes with the fucking territory. I get it. So whether you said something on your Twitter page, I don't know. Don't know. All I can know is if you come on here and say it with me, or you send me your show, or I come on your show, we'll debate it, whatever. That's the only way I know that you said what you said when you said. I've been shared people that are now huge manipulative turncoats that talk so much shit about Caleb Williams, and I don't know how they get a pass publicly by you that have turned this narrative around like they never said that stuff. To me, I could never follow that person. That's following someone off a fucking cliff. Isaac Siegel, $20. You know, when I hear the same talking points about Caleb from DDP, Shane, Cap, Hood, Waddle, Adam Hogue, Braggs, Parkins, Cronin, and the Bears blog all agree about how amazing Caleb is. Different ideas on the NFL and all agree. Exactly, Isaac. And that's a good group of people. I've never been a fan of the Bears blog. I don't think he knows football. I know he breaks stories. And listen, he's going out there talking to certain people doing his research. So I'm going to give everyone credit where credit is due. That's always been my way. The guys that are phony bullies, and Ivan has clips of these motherfuckers. Alex Acevedo has clips of these motherfuckers talking shit about me and Shane, about being bullies. No. We're bullying the bully frauds. That's what we do. I don't care if they're on 670 The Score, ABC. Where does Ryan Leaf, whatever channel he's on, Dan Orlovsky's on ESPN, the same network Courtney Cronin is. Pat the designer. They're friends. I don't agree with Pat's takes. He's another guy that is flip-flopped. It is what it is. Herb Howard, my boy. Haven't been able to debate with him. Don't agree at all with what Herb had to say. At all. And I could be a gentleman about it and debate it. But the debate's over now. The league spoke. I'm sorry. You can't twist that. You can't twist that. And I'll prove that to you right now. I'm going to ask Ivan and you a question. So let's give us any starting quarterback in the NFL. And thank you, Isaac. You get the carry next. Any quarter. Let's do NFC. West. Okay, who are the starting cornerbacks in the NFC West? Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, Geno Smith, and Kyler Murray. Okay, pick any of those guys. Just pick one.
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. Geno Smith's about to be traded. What is he going to receive in a trade? What do you think you're going to get for Geno Smith, the Denver Broncos, a quarterback needy team prior to free agency? What is he going to get?
Probably a 6, maybe a
He's
7.
in the 6th range, right?
6-7 range. Yeah.
Okay. I would agree. That's where, or 5th or 6th is what I said in my head to be
5th if you're desperate. It depends on the situation. 5th if they're desperate.
Is he going to get a conditional 6th next year? No, he's not. Because he's considered a starting quarterback who throws with anticipation from the pocket. Yes, it was tongue in cheek. I will say this. Caleb Williams saying, I don't like to run and I don't run. That was a shot at Justin Fields. It was. I don't say I liked it, but I think he was frustrated in the moment and taking a swipe at him based on all of these Bears fans attacking him. So that's the story in the NFL behind the scenes is what Brad Biggs shared with you. And we just did an exercise here. And I don't know if any fans, because I can't see, I'm in the super chats because I'm going to go to his net. Let me scroll down. Did anybody, Lawrence says a 3rd or 4th. Zaka says a 2nd or 4th. Is there any more? 4th. Is there anything? Any other ones? Anybody else disagree with Ivan or any of these guys? No. Okay. What would Brock Purdy receive in a trade?
Oh, he'd probably get a 3rd, maybe a 2nd. I would
I
start with 2nd.
I think he would be a 1st round pick.
Really?
100%.
You've
shown it on tape.
A high end first or a low end first?
Wherever. If a quarter, like if the Denver Broncos could get Brock Purdy right now, they would trade their 1st round pick. A 2nd at the least. I'm dead serious.
No, I could see it. I was thinking more on the 2nd or 3rd. Yeah, I don't know.
This is an undrafted kid, right?
Yeah.
Not undrafted. He went the last pick in the draft. But again, his resume in the league. So I'm just telling you, there was and we are open for business was when Ryan Poles said, we want to do right by Justin Fields. Okay. That was telling everybody. You heard so much noise. They're not trading him. This is all a game. Sham. Blah, blah, blah. No. Hoodie. Jonathan Hood eloquently said it. No. When you hear that old adage, we're going to do right by Justin Fields, that means it's done. And it was. And Jonathan Hood was right. Carrie Franklin, $10. This is great. Washing mama's vehicle while listening to Phil and Ivan break down all these Caleb William hater bullshits. The only drawback is wishing I could engage in the chat. TTNL for life, bear down. Carrie Franklin, $10. Carrie, I had a couple screenshots sent to me by some fans of TTNL of Carrie Franklin calling out some haters with super chat on their show. It's hilarious. Carrie super chatted them and shouted out TTNL, so they had to read it. Lawrence Chrisman, $10. Tip jar. Embrace your new QB. Ryan Poles did a smart move. We got a great haul from Carolina. That's true. If there was a bell, I would ding it. People stop trying to find something to hate on. Chase greatness. I want to talk shit again. Listen, I'm in Connecticut. And of course, I got the Caleb haters and the homophobics based on some of these memes and all that bullshit. But every one of them to a man is so jealous. Giant fans, Jet fans, Cowboy fans, Packer fans, Chiefs fans are so jealous of the position that Ryan Poles has put the Chicago Bears in with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Kmet, my guy, the tight end. Wow, I just went blank on him. Oh, my God.
Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett. Thank you. Gerald Everett. The first overall pick, Caleb Williams, and the possibility at 9 to add a trade down or a pass rusher in what the Chicago Bears are doing. And I know the next, I've talked to Steve Edwards. He's predicting it. The next move would be like, oh, he's only good because Ryan Poles decided to do good by him and not Justin. No, that isn't your prerequisite out of this right now. It isn't. Kevin Shiana, $2. Phil, can you do a show with pink nails? I'll tell you what, that first game, let's paint our nails pink at TTNL when he comes here and it's opening day and the Bears whoop someone's ass. On who are we opening with? We don't even know yet.
No, not yet.
I'll do it. I'll put pink nails on. My wife could do that for me, no problem. You, Kevin, don't let me forget. I'm doing it. Opening day. Get your pink on. Now, he was showing his fingernails were clear. And they look pink.
Right. Well, I mean,
there could be the lighting.
Right. It
did
not
hiding anything.
Yeah, there was nothing. I don't know. It didn't look. What the picture looked like was that he did have some pink on there. Yeah. Then they went to the lipstick.
Painted his nails.
Lipsticks. Yeah, people were talking about lipstick. I don't know about the lipstick or the painted nails. I knew the phone was pink for sure. That was 100%. But
right, and he came out and said that.
Everything else was a question mark for me.
HL Priest, $5. Thanks to TTNL, I'll be ordering my Williams jersey draft night the same way I did when we drafted Justin Fields. Chase greatness. Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag go blue. Good job, HL Priest. I love you, bro. I love you, and I'm there with you. If there ever was a jersey to purchase, it's this one. Kevin's back. Kevin is back. Kevin Shiana, $2. I had a guy Sal Sula reached out to me. He's like, yo, you actually pronounced my name correctly the other night on Keeping It 100. So I'm want to shout you out. I go, yeah, sometimes I can get the Italian names right, I think.
Yeah.
Caleb Haters, source. Quote, trust me, bro. I've heard. Exactly. Trust me, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You guys are in for it. You're in for it. He was terrible against Notre Dame. Samuel, this is where I struggle, Sam, with your last name. Osafalujo. That's how we say it.
Why'd you put an Italian accent on it?
Where's Angelo?
Osafalujo.
Let's call Angelo, see if he picks up. I'm going to have him say Osafalujo. Let's see if he picks up. Well, that's the wrong number. This is the right one. Here we go. Here we go. Sam, I'm going to see if he can pronounce your name.
Hello.
Hey, Angelo, how you doing? Good. Happy Good Friday to you.
Thank you, Coach Phil.
Listen, I need you to pronounce this last name for me, okay? I'm going to spell it for you. You got a pen or you driving? You driving?
Yeah, I'm driving right now. Go ahead, call me, Phil. I'll do it. Go ahead.
Oh, you spell it out for me. Is this Angelo's dad?
Yeah, thank you. Just give me a
Okay. Okay. S as in Sam.
Yes.
I as in India. A as in, excuse me, F as in Frank. A as in Apple. L as in Lake. U as in under. J as in Joseph. O as in orange. Now, Angelo, how would you pronounce that name?
That's not an Italian name, though, Phil.
I know. It ends in a vowel, though. The police. Hold on.
They got Angelo.
Okay. Real quick. Just try to pronounce it. Let me hear it.
Give me a pen.
I can see Angelo in a box truck flying down trying to avoid the cops.
Call me back. Did he write it down?
No, I'm getting a pen now for my dad.
What? I thought you had the pen.
Here, do it again.
Oh my God. I spelled it all out for you. So good. O is in.
Do it again.
O is in as in ocean.
Okay.
S is in Sam. I is in India. F is in Frank. A is in apple. L is in lake. U is in under. J is in Joseph. O is in ocean. Okay. Now let me hear you. Oh, there you go. You're live on the air, Angelo. You and your dad. I
want to sell on the cars.
Yep.
Everybody.
Ivan.
Chicago Bears.
Ivan.
Ivan.
Yes. Cherie.
Cherie.
Yes. Angelo, thank you for proving me right again, Angelo. I love you, bro.
I love you too, Phil.
We'll talk. We'll get you on the show this week.
All right, Coach.
All right, brother. Thank you. What do we say here? The tape what?
It never lies.
That's right, brother. I love you. Angelo. Osafalujo. See that? Osafalujo. Most people with these GM takes would be fired expeditiously. Imagine if I had him pronounce expeditiously.
We'll need a whole hour for that.
That was fun. This is what we do here. We have a little fun. Angelo's coming back. But Sam, thank you. $10. And you're 100% right. These GMs. Oh, you know what? He's throwing 38 touchdowns. And I tell you, the pink nails, it's a really big turnoff for me. I can't take it. The Jerky Boys calling in. Listen, I was looking at his nails, and it's a really big turnoff for me. And I'm telling you, as the GM of the Jets, we haven't won a Super Bowl since 1968. I just can't do it. I can't trade up with the Bears. Fuck out of here.
They had some fucking guy. I think Jackal actually commented on it. Some dude from, what was it, Outkick or some fucking station. Talking shit about Caleb and like he's bringing masculinity down and shit like that.
Oh my God!
All while wearing a pink fuchsia shirt in his profile picture. It's like, what about you, buddy? Should we start questioning your masculinity and sexuality?
Oh my! I know the Dennis Rodman has been talked about a lot, and it's a good point because it's right in the face of Chicago fans and fandom. So that's one, but it's like, are we seriously in 2025? I mean, 24. I'm pushing us ahead a year. Are worrying about this shit? Like, seriously, with every fucking movie on Netflix and everything that we see streamed and all the music industry and all these NBA players walking into their games with all these crazy outfits and Cam Newton going in and RG3 talking shit and at a team that basically he begged and cried to be like all of the complete utter chaos that I've seen, the hypocritical stances. It's unbearable and believable at the same time. Kevin Carlson, $20. And this is Kevin just confessing. Maybe we should call this church. No, I don't want to offend someone. It's a different kind of church. Church of Tape. Kevin Carlson, $20. I was a big fan of Justin Fields, supporter, maybe a cultist, he says, for some. And he laughs. I was never against Caleb Williams being drafted for the Bears because I am actually believing in the Bears organization thanks to Poles and Warren. I am pumped for Caleb Williams and TTNL. Thank you, Kevin. Like, is that hard to do? Like, this man is being a man. Like, he has a backbone and is saying, listen, I was one of those people that wanted to keep. I was a huge Justin Fields. And then I looked at it from this perspective, and I am all for the tape.
Phil, it's not, and we've said it time and time again, and it's on our shows, it's on our tape. We were all in for Justin Fields' success at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the year, we're like, Justin needs to do this. If he can do this, he's our guy. And we would have loved him. We would have still been on the Justin train, but it didn't happen. And you have to be realistic with yourself, and you can't, like you've done here. You're not going to sit there and bullshit for somebody else's narrative.
Right. No fucking way. I would never do it. I have never, ever. I've had people say, I said that too. I said it before you said it. I go, I don't see anybody's stuff. When I'm doing this show, well, now before Ivan, I'm looking at the chat, but sometimes you'll think, that's natural for a show, that we'll think the same way and say the same things. That's awesome. That means we're both thinking alike. I'm not the guy that's worried about who said it first unless I've taken this whole stance and got hated on for it. Because I am that guy in this case with Justin Fields. I am the guy that got ridiculed, hated on, life threatened, family threatened. I kid you not, because I was showing the tape and my opinions of this guy. Who the fuck is this fucking guy? And you can just imagine. I'm on Adam Rank's show, and I got one of our patrons screenshotting the chat room. I got a guy that's wishing me well and my family well, who I won't say his name. And then on another show is ripping me to shreds. Like it's not going to get back. He's a fuck Phil. He doesn't know. Come on. Like two-faced bullshit is just as bad. You have no backbone. What Kevin has is a fucking backbone. Am I going to be right all the time? No. The NFL. Caleb Williams is the best I've ever scouted. That doesn't mean that he's going to go in there and win 20 Super Bowls. I believe he will go in there and win and get us the opportunity to do that. That's the starting point of a college resume. That's how it started for Peyton, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he's sitting in the fucking screen room waiting for his name to be called. And each name and each team that passed him motivated him. And then when he's sitting behind Brett Favre, who's popping pills and being a dick and a complete moron asshole, and you're busting your ass to try to get to the level that you want to be to prove all those naysayers wrong, that motivated him. His journey, his story is one, whether you like it or not. I hated Aaron Rodgers, hated him. Why did I hate him? Because he beat us constantly. The competitive. I got nothing but respect for Aaron Rodgers, the football player, because he's amazing. But Aaron Rodgers' story started with his tape, got him into the league, got him picked in the first round, Drew Brees the same way. And every quarterback before and behind them, that's it. I don't know. Caleb Williams would not be afraid to take number 1. I guarantee you. He would not be afraid to take number 1 and do it for those astroturfing motherfuckers. He would do it to inspire himself and push himself for greatness. I'll make you forget number 1 with my name. Is that the ultimate fucking move for a fucking competitor? Yeah, it is. Because nobody's wearing number 34. No one's wearing Mickey Mantle's number.
Nobody could have 7.
No one's wearing Hallis, right? Eric Thomas, I'm pumped for the season more than any other season in my short 47 years on this planet. TTNL, the truth. Eric Thomas, another guy with a backbone. Eddie Kane Jr., $10. Thank you, Eddie. Look, man, I'm a fan of Fields, but I opened my eyes and looked at what was wrong, and Justin Fields would shrink in the heat of the moment and run all the time and throw the ball because of his mechanics. Thanks, DDP. No, thank you, Eddie.
Eddie actually meant he. Dan, thanks again, Eddie. You didn't have to add again.
You didn't have to do a double, Eddie, but I meant wouldn't throw the ball because of his bad mechanics. And that's what I showed on tape, and that's what Eddie is talking about. You see, me and Shane disagreed even in that because we're men and we disagree. Even when we're on the network, we don't run up and down and pat each other on the back. If something, I was not about giving Cole Kmet an extension until he proved it. Well, they gave him an extension and paid him, and then Cole did what I didn't think he would do. He improved and got better when he got paid. So he took that payment as a motivation to his game. And all the credit to him. And we had monstrous debates about that. And I was wrong. Cole has grown. I think he's got to do more, and hopefully he continues. But all he's been is on the up and up. So that's another positive. But me and Shane disagreed on, I was 100%, and I was told by more than one person that the Bears were trading. If Caleb Williams wasn't in this draft, they were getting rid of Justin Fields. They were trading him. So if it was just Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix, and J.J. McCarthy in this draft, they were trading Justin Fields because of his tape. They did not draft him. Next. That's it for the super chat. Well, if you have questions now about the draft, then we'll go there. I know people are fake and they're phonies and they go out of their way to tear other people down. And I am a person that's going to go out of my way for the tape, for truth. So Latu, who we're going to get into tomorrow night, this guy is probably a top 5 pick in this draft if his medical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's that good. He's that talented as a pass rusher and an edge defender. He could set the edge. He's fighting through double teams. He's got point of attack power, the likes of Khalil Mack, like that level of point of attack power. But that neck issue is the scary thing. So that kind of medical will push someone down. I'm trying to think in my head of somebody coming out more recently that, okay, medicals pushed them down And someone was able to get a steal out of this because their medicals pushed them down. And I can't think of somebody in my head, but it is what it is. I did the Sal Rosenberg, Dr. Horror, right?
Sal Rosenberg.
Jan Heeman was saying pink was a masculine color up until the 1950s. Bullets. People need to stop with all this BS. Dan, I wouldn't give a fuck if he identified as a unicorn. As long as he leads us to the playoffs, to the Super Bowl, I'll cheer him on. Listen, Dan brings up a good point. We are in a society, and I'm not going to say any players' names. You could just fill in the blank, where people have gotten into car races and killed people and are playing in a league. We are in a society where men have struck women. Men have gotten into fist fights and broken bones of people, and fans spit on fans, and fans spit on players. We're in a society where accountability is lost, right? And here we are bagging on a 21-year-old kid.
And Phil, you know what? Samuel says he's going to go get a pink phone case today. And if Caleb was, and Caleb is smart, but I could have seen Caleb taking this and maybe having some type of promotion with pink phones and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that he can do, and he can run away to really magnify this and market himself and troll. It's like any way he's winning with this.
I agree with you, man. And that's, something, before I get into this, that is something that you bring up that resonates with me, that, this is a different, I'm stealing from Hoodie again. Shout out Jonathan Hood again. Because Jonathan, I love the dude. He's so eloquent. And that show, Captain Hood, the best show on radio. I'm sorry, it is. If you're a Chicago Bears fan, that's the best show on radio.
Watch it every day.
Because they
listen to it every day.
Listen or watch it, whatever you do. Shane, Snorling, all of them, and Jay Moore with my hip hop beats. They just do a great job of articulating and playing off each other's personality. When they do that trading, I hate it, because then it's not them in the morning. Whatever that is, trading, spring trading, or whatever the hell. I don't like that because it's not Cap and Hood. But anyway, the reality is Hoodie was talking about this. Say what you want. You're just looking at Caitlin Clark. Let's just use Caitlin Clark. And I don't know if maybe she's playing today or tonight or tomorrow, whatever the girls are. I don't know. She's taunting. She's talking shit. She's getting in the heads of the opponent, hyping up the crowd, looking at if that was Caleb Williams, he would have been torn down, right? But that is a mindset of a champion, to get in the mind of an opponent. We saw it play out. Bears playoff. I forget what year this is. Mitch is playing. We're playing the Saints. And what's his name from the Saints is getting in the heads of Javon and Anthony Miller.
Gardner
Johnson.
Yeah.
Getting in their fucking heads, talking shit. He single-handedly turned the tides of a football game, because Javon was so caught up in that he drops an easy flea flicker touchdown in a football game where football relies on momentum. This guy's getting thrown out of a fucking game. And we're getting penalized. And it's offense that's not consistent is getting penalized in critical moments. So there is something to be said about hypocrites and this day and age of an athlete that is marketing itself. Ice Cube is offering her $5 million to play in a 3-on-3 league because of the talent she is, right? It's a new era in sports with the NIL and players getting paid money to go to certain programs. You got Deion Sanders talking about how much he has to pay a quarterback. You got coaches talking about it. I got UConn in my backyard, the head coach, Jim Moore Jr., talking about it at a coach's clinic, as well as in the press, that we need money to compete because we got to pay players that are good to come to our school. That has flipped the tides. Well, how much am I going to get paid? Then you got Minnesota, PJ Fleck saying, listen, you talking about how many stars you have and how much money you want, this program isn't for you. So the battlefield is still laced with obstacles and hurdles. The integrity of everybody isn't PJ Fleck. Let's just be honest there. Herb Howard was pissed at Kyle Brandt because of the Kobe reference. I don't know how. I think Kyle expressed it immensely perfect. I can compare them because Caleb's going to be the first overall pick, and I think Kyle could have went further and has been embraced in this society as the best player in college football for the last 2 seasons.
And I think Kyle really is talking, about the mentality too of Kobe, right? That
Exactly.
Mamba mentality. How many times have you heard Mamba mentality? Mamba mentality. It's a positive. I don't think Kyle was trying to disparage Kobe's legacy whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to say, hey, Caleb Williams has that Jordan in him, has that Kobe in him, has that it factor that you want in a superstar. You want in a guy that's going to lead your team, but in a guy that could take you to heights that you haven't been yet.
100%. I well said. Well said. Eric Tom, I love you, Phil. Let me know. I will need security when we come to Chicago because according to sources, somebody's pipes are real.
Mm-hmm.
They work out.
Yeah.
Well, at 50 years old, coaching, cutting tape, doing shows, and working a day job, I try to get to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, not like when I was 38 and 42 and jacked up. And jacked up for me, I will be honest, was 225-pound bench press 17 times, brah. Like a defensive back I was. But I will take you up on it when we come because me and Jim Larison and Shane are going to need some TTNL patron security. Why? Because we're going to be mobbed by people wanting to tell us how right we were. Dan Kelly, my guy. Dan, you have a great smile in your AVI. Is that lip gloss you have that you're wearing? Kidding. Dan Kelly, $5. I don't give a fuck if it's Sid Luckman zombie at QB. I want to win a Super Bowl. Sick of people laughing at the Bears. 1985 was a long time ago. Bear down. What year? How many years is 85 from 2024? So that's fucking what? 49 years?
Almost. Well,
that's my quick math in my head. Was I right?
Somebody else. Yeah, somebody do the mathing for
Where's
me.
Anthony Gordon? When
there
I
we go.
him?
There we go. 39.
39. I was off by 10.
39.
It did it. 39 years ago. 30 motherfucking 9 years ago. Yes, we'll make it simple. Too many years. And I got my bodyguard, Eric Thomas. Where's Max AO? Shannon Green. Only Chicago fans are this dumb. We have a possible legend coming up to the plate. Watch the tape. The special awareness is unreal. I saw him spin free, and his feet went straight to the launch position. Yeah, me and my dad pointing it out over and over. Like my dad, the one thing he was just so amazed with and can't stop talking about is his feet and his footwork. Always getting to those power spots where you can shorten your stride so you can stride out longer and deliver quickly. Unbelievable people are. Eddie Kane Jr. is coming back, $20. Love you guys. I just want to say thank you to DDP, Shane, and the branch of shows, especially Cars Keys, one of my favorite footballs. I tried to get him on today, Eddie. He's busy, but I'm ready for greatness. I wish Justin Fields the best in his career. Yeah, and that's how you should be. Should be. There are people that I love that won't even pick up the phone because they were so embedded in Justin Fields and created this story that honestly, it's not true, guys. The Bears tried to do everything and anything for Justin Fields despite any kind of narrative. And if they truly believed in him, guess what? He would be here. That's the truth. Let it go. Pick up the phone, call your boy. You need a shoulder? I'm there. But you got to let it go. Don't be one of these fan stands. Isaac Siegel, $5. If we got Verse at 9, would you trade our third and a 1 for next year's second to move up to get Pearsall? This is a good question here because I love Ricky Pearsall. Now, where am I moving up to get Ricky? Is he saying a second this year? If we get Verse at 9, would you trade our third and one of our next year's seconds? Okay, so he's saying this year's third and a second next year. That's a lot in regards to Shane's measuring meter of where it is. So a second next year is equivalent to a first this year. You get it? So it goes down around. So that's why when the Bears got a first next year for the trade down with Bryce Young and that was sheer brilliance by your GM, Ryan Poles. Big Poles, as Pat McAfee calls him. I don't know if I would do the second next year. I would. So he's in the second round. Here's who I would trade up in the second round for. Say we take our guy, Ivan Verse, at 9. The Bears have a third round pick, and here is Ladd McConkey in the second round. I would try to move up to get Ladd McConkey on the Chicago Bears. And I can't wait to cut up his tape and do his tape because he's outstanding. He is I know I said it on the show the other night. So I have him ranked Marvin Harrison Jr., Odunze, Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, number 4. Then Brian Thomas. So that's my top 5 receivers. If I can get my 4th receiver in round 2, who I believe has all of the traits that I think a starter will have in the NFL, and I think then I would be willing to move up and give away draft capital next year for that. So I hope that answers your question, Isaac.
For me, I still like the idea of trading down. I know we've talked about people falling, and that's a guy like Joe Alt. We've talked about that might be a guy where it's like we have to sit here and decide whether we want to take him or not. But I still would like to see them move from 9 because I believe you could get a guy like Verse. And if Verse isn't there, because I think Verse might be, if he's going to be in the top 10, he might be number 10. But I think you're going to still have the ability to find defensive ends in that early teens area. So if you could accumulate a second to where you don't have to trade future draft capital for it, I'm all for that too. You know what I'm saying? Like you go get a defensive end, and then in the second round you grab a wide receiver. That's something that I'm all for.
Yeah. So in this case, lunatic, and what I'm getting you 3 blue chippers in my assessment of. So I would get you Caleb Williams, Jared Verse, and Lad McConkey. How many teams could go into a draft and say, I'm getting you 3 starters? Now, what Alex Shapiro did on his mock, I felt like he got 3 starters. He came out with 3 starters. Now, let's look at last year's draft, Ivan. Darnell Wright is a starter. Stevenson is a starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jervon Dexter now is a starter. So there's 3 starters you got out of that draft. Am I missing anybody else? No, right?
No, I don't believe so. Unless they have Pickens on the other side starting too.
Yeah. Which I think they're going to start. What's his name? Andrew Billings. I think he'll start with Dexter, but I could be wrong. Listen, if Pickens needs to get in the fucking weight room and work his ass off, like that, because his ability to twitch and explode, I don't want to use get off like Ryan Poles, but that's the blessing that we're in with 1 and 9. And the GM said it himself. Like, we're in a great place because, listen, let's do this. Let's do a mock real quick, me and you, and then we'll get out of here.
All right.
All right. So obviously we're on the clock. Let's have fun. Anybody want to come on and join us? You let me know. Send us a super chat. I'll get you in here. But just run up to the podium and you take. Is this set up where we could pause?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we want to, me and you pick for everyone? Could we do that?
That's fine with me.
Or do you want to because I only want to do 1 and 2, 3 rounds. Okay. I don't want to do the whole thing.
Okay, then let me go back because I have it set for 7.
We could pause it. It's fine. We'll pause it if we want to go for. Let's just keep it at 7.
Okay.
Just in case we decide we're gonna go. I don't want to. Oh fuck. Let's continue. This is fun.
All right.
All right. So 1, Caleb. Boom. Done. Oh, they're picking, so it went fast. So Jaden went. Yeah, I was gonna try to make us pick, but I don't know if you could do that.
I would have to click on every single one of the teams. I would have to select all the teams, and then
that's fine. Let's just do this. So Caleb went. Jaden Daniels went 2. Drake May went 3 to New England. Malik Neighbors went 4. Roma Odunze went 5. Joe Alt went 6 to the Giants. Marvin Harrison went to the Titans. Dallas Turner went to the Falcons. Now, look at this. Now we could take our guy, right? We could take Jared Verse. And now I got 2 blue chip football players. We're going on the Holy Trinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't take them yet. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Here we go.
Let's
Pause.
start over.
Pause.
Start over.
All right.
Let's start it again. And we'll see what comes up. But I'm just saying that would be the responsibility right there. We could just take 2 blue chip starters for next year. And we're good. Because how many teams are going out? That's why we get the haul. All that are just swings. They're just swings. So Caleb Williams. Boom. Drake May.
Okay, now the draft is paused.
Okay. So now they're going to take a quarterback. Go ahead. You just keep going. We'll go to the Bears.
Jaden Daniels. Roma Dunze.
Dunze went higher now.
Malik Neighbors.
They're going over Marvin Harrison. There's Marvin.
Joe
Alt. Now they take Dallas Turner. So now we're back exactly in the same spot, right?
Mm-hmm. Jared Verse.
Latu. Hold on. Don't.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to take Verse.
No, I wanted to go through it. Do it again.
We're gonna get this fucking thing right, me and you.
I want you to look at trades based on
this pick. That's all right.
Based on where we are, this is what you're gonna do as a GM. We take Caleb Williams, and you could let it go. We start it over. If Marvin Harrison falls like that, are you gonna want to trade up, Phil? No, I'm not trading. I'm letting it fall to me. None of these guys have said, other than Caleb, that I have to have you on my team. Okay, so don't draft anybody.
Nobody's drafted.
I want to talk based on my board, right? Like Brock Bowers is up number 7 on my board. So Brock Bowers, I just want to talk about this, is a possibility because of what he can do freakishly on the football field for your football team, even more so than a wide receiver, because he offers you the opportunity to play both inside and outside, and he does things on a football field that most people can't. And it's done consistently on tape. So Brock Bowers is definitely in the discussion as a football team because you're trying to get multipliers. What he can do also is change the whole course of the football field. So I can line him out. Okay, DJ Moore, one side. Allen in the slot. Cole Kmet at tight end. One running back, whoever you want. Say Swift's in the backfield. Now I line up Brock Bowers at outside receiver. Or I line up Brock Bowers at wing. And I isolate him on a safety. Or the corner's got to cover a 6'6". Click on Brock Bowers. I want to see his actual measurements from the combine. 6'4", 240 wide receiver. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's what he is. And he's a dynamic football player. Is he in the discussion? 150%. Me and Cap don't agree on this. 150%.
I don't agree on this.
He's in the conversation. It has to. You can't call yourself doing due diligence if you aren't looking at this talent athletically. He's been consistent every single year and been dominant. And
I just feel
as
like
a blocker,
yeah,
he's George Kittle-like. George Kittle, coming out of Iowa, I just still dread the day this motherfucker took Shaheen over my guy Kittle. He's 21 years old. You can use him at receiver and tight end. Am I going to do it? Everett's on a 2-year deal, Scott. 2-year deal. So I know Shane Waldron, Scottish Bear, he's got to be saying, yeah, what we can do with this guy if he was to fall. And okay, so that's one discussion. You say you're not going to even discuss it?
Not because of the need for defensive end. Because of the need to find a guy to replace.
I don't want you to come from that area. I want you to come from, okay, we got to discuss every possibility here. We're in a room, and this is what Shapiro said. They're all going to take sides for this debate. So don't worry about what you paid and how many you have. Just look at your board and look at blue chippers.
Well,
Is he going to help your young quarterback? Yes.
Yeah, right away.
Is he going to help you in run game and pass game? Yes. Okay, so he has to. You see what I'm saying? He has to be in. It's not a need. Yeah, Nick, you just read my mind. It's not a need, but it is creatively. Nick is also putting him solely at tight end. I am not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting him outside and making him run a fade. He's outside. He's 6'4", and he's controlling of his body. He can get down. And add drum covers to it by Dan Sharp. Shout out you. Cole Kmet could get injured. An injury could occur. Tight ends are a quarterback's best friend. He has to be in the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no. At 9, if the Chicago Bears see him doing exactly like you are talking about, Phil, being a guy that they could play at tight end, that could stretch the field, that could go spread out wide to, you know what I mean, to get the defense spread out. I understand that, and that is absolutely a plus. It would be a plus for us. Would be a plus for Caleb. Again, and I know you don't want me to think from this space, but it's the way Ryan Poles has gone about. Sometimes I feel like he puts need ahead of want.
I would tell
you know, it's like look at like last season, for instance.
Say it differently. Need in front of want.
Yeah, like he instead of
everybody's going to put need in front of want.
Right, but that's where he doesn't falter. You know what I'm? That's where I'm trying to.
Right.
I'm reading how he moves, and from like let's say last season he drafted 2 defensive tackles, you know, back to back. Like you were thinking he was going to go ahead and attack offense for a second, but he didn't because the defense needed to replace some of these guys that were going to be up for contract, a guy like Justin Jones, and you needed to get youthful on the defensive line. So as great as Brock Bowers is, and as much as I want him to be a part of this team, thinking like, you know, seeing how Ryan Poles moves, I don't think that's the move he would make.
Listen, don't think what they would do. You're in the right space with what you were saying. Don't go to him now. Me and you are looking at this football team, so I want you to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, I'm confusing you and myself. I am being Ryan Poles in the fact that I have the responsibility for this football team to add dynamic football players. And as he has said over and over, you're always looking to improve. Mm-hmm. What you do in free agency should not dictate what you do in the draft, although 90% of teams do that. Also, 90% of teams don't win Super Bowls. So you have to look at things based on that chart of blue chip football players. Caleb Williams is a blue chip, best quarterback in the last 30, 40 years prospect. What he does in the NFL is up to him after that. The Bears aren't going to get in the way of him like they have in the past. They don't have Ted Phillips. Kevin Warren is a different person. They don't have Jerry Angelo and that crew. They don't have anybody. Ryan Poles is a different person. It would be his first quarterback he selected. So all of that stuff doesn't matter. Blue chip. Boom, you got it. Now we're at 9. We, as TTNL have said, Shane has said over and over, we control the draft. You're blessed at 9 because there's going to be 4 quarterbacks going that are going to push talent down. Mm-hmm. So now you have to make a choice. Take the best player available on your board. Best player available on your board for need. Okay, that's option B. Option C, have several of best players on your board that you kind of have them in a cluster and trade down with the understanding that you're going to get one of those guys, and you've decided as a group that you're okay because there's 4 or 5 that you all agree that are blue chippers that are going to be available if we trade down to such and such a spot.
No, I agree with you there. I'll say this, if they went up and Brock Bowers is a name, I'm not going to go castrate or condemn, Ryan Poles. I'm not going to go ahead and call Ryan Poles. It would be a surprise, but I would be happy with the pick, knowing the talent that Brock Bowers has, knowing what he could do to help this football team. For me, the way I see it, I would want to make sure that that defensive line is complete.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
That's where I would.
I totally understand. That's why we're doing this exercise. And Jason G, I so appreciate you because this is what we're doing. We're identifying the blue chippers. Like those 3 edge rushers are blue chippers. Latu is a blue chip football player that has a asterisk in red that says, Doctor, not me, Dr. So-and-so, what do you think about his potentially coming into the league and getting injured again? Is there a propensity for that we can't afford to take a chance at passing on another blue chipper that we might have a little bit under him? Mm-hmm. What is the answer there? That's a medical now answer that affects your board. It does it every year. There was a guy out of Michigan, Mo Hurst, probably one of the best 3 techniques coming out. He had a heart issue. People took him completely off their draft board. He's still in the league. I think he re-signed with the Cleveland Browns. All right. He fits a cover 2 scheme. He's a penetrator. I loved him coming out of college. And he hasn't had the greatest career, whatever. But he hasn't had the opportunities because limited teams can sign him based on that heart condition. If the neck is fine, in ranking these guys, Latu is a slight blue chip, Jason, over Verse. Because I have it Verse on talent, Verse Latu Turner. That's how I have it. I mean, on talent, Latu over Verse on talent, Latu over Verse by a little bit, Verse over Turner by a little bit more. Okay. That's how I have it. So I have 1A Latu on talent on tape. Latu. 1B, still a 1, Verse. 2 is Turner. So there's a drop off there. He's still a blue prospect. So you got 3 blues. Then you got Alt, a blue. You got Fashanu, a blue. You have the offensive tackle from Washington. He's a blue. What's his name?
Troy Foul.
Yeah.
Was it Fausto? Is it Foul?
Yeah.
Faust? I don't know. Let me go. Let me not make fuck it up.
It's probably on here. You could get out of Bowers and you'll see it there.
Yeah.
Let's click this off.
Yep.
And then he's got to be there. He is. Right? Troy. I don't know why I was losing it too. And then Fuaga is a blue chip, right? I have Byron Murphy as a blue chip. Johnny Newton, no. Or ask my dad. He's not taking him until the 4th round, Johnny Newton. I know PFF has him really, really high there. We don't need a corner in Cooper DeJean or Quinyon Mitchell. So keep moving down. Arnold, we don't need. Obviously, Turner, Verse are there. Fashanu's there. I don't have JC as a blue chipper. I don't have a corner. Amarius Mims is a high-end, amazing size athlete that's going to need a lot of work. He's not a blue chipper. Those are corners. We skip those. There's the center. I don't have him as a blue chipper, even though he's a good football player. I don't see him. And there you go. Brian Thomas is a situational pass catcher for me. There's Lad McConkey. I have him as a blue chipper right there. They have him ranked 33rd. Lad McConkey will be a superstar in the NFL. So if the Bears traded down to 13 and with the Vegas and they took Lad McConkey and everyone went, holy shit, no fucking way, I would be okay with it because I have him as a blue chip football player. You see what I'm saying? So all these guys in front of us, go back up for the draft. Sorry, not those on the draft side.
Oh,
go up. Caleb Williams, blue chip. JJ McCarthy went 2. I also have him as the second ranked quarterback, as Shane does. He's a blue chipper. Jaden Daniels, despite his tape and the things that I see in him, I don't have him as a blue chipper. Okay, Jaden Daniels. I don't see him as a blue chipper. Marvin Harrison Jr., blue chip. Joe Alt, blue chip. Drake May, I believe, will be a blue chip. He's on the cusp. Malik Neighbors is a blue chip. Roma Dunze, blue chip. Okay, so there's your blue chippers in there. What does blue chip mean? So on your roster, you want guys that are outstanding in talent that allows you to do anything you want offensively or defensively, that they are going to be dominating football players with the potential to be all pro football players. When the Bears won the Super Bowl, how many players were voted to the all pro team? I would think, 13? Singletary, Dent, McMichael, right? When you had this championship defense, when the Bears had that defense in 2006, how many guys were all pro? Olin Kreutz, Ogunleye, Urlacher, Briggs, Tillman, Vasher, Mike. You see what I'm saying? Those are starters no matter what team they go to. That's what a blue chipper is. So that's what you're searching for. The Bears are aligned in a draft that is deep in wide receiver, that is deep in interior offensive linemen, that has a lot of quarterbacks. They are getting the best one in 40 years. And now you're getting another opportunity at a blue chip. So I gave you the ones, Lad McConkey versus the 3 offensive tackles now. So we can trade down in our room, right? You agreed with the blue chippers that I have. We're not taking a corner here. I don't want to trade down too far, and then I'm settling for, the center from Oregon at 25 because we traded down. I already went through this, Nick, but I'll do it again. Marvin Harrison is my number 1 receiver. Even if he's a prima donna and didn't decide to work out at the Combine or his pro day and hates whatever. He's a blue chipper. He's the best one. In fact, if you're on this show and you're in the chat, and I know some of you are silently watching, you haven't subscribed to the Tape Never Lies Network, do us a favor. Subscribe and like right now. Subscribe and like right now. And I appreciate that. 10 all pros. Thank you, Scott. They had 10 on their team, which culminated in a Super Bowl, and there could have been more, I'm sure. That's how you build championships. You're getting these blue prospects. Montez Sweat is a blue chip football player. Go through the roster now. DJ Moore, blue chip. Darnell Wright, blue chip. Jalen Johnson, blue chip. How many is that? That's 4. Let's see how many we have on our roster. Darnell Wright, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Jalen Johnson. Am I thinking? Cole Kmet has worked his way into a blue chip.
Keenan Allen.
I said him. So we got 5. I'm thinking in my Brisker is on the precipice of it. I'm not going to put him there, but I believe he's almost there. This season defines Brisker.
Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds is a blue chipper. TJ Edwards is a blue chip. You got 2. He's one. TJ Edwards is the most underrated football player maybe in the NFL. So we got 7.
Kyler Gordon.
Kyler Gordon's on the precipice. In fact, I'm going to put him in there as a nickel player. He is a starting quality. Any team would be willing to take him on their football team to put him as a starter. So that's 8.
Tevin Jenkins.
Tevin Jenkins, when healthy, is because he's not healthy enough, I can't put him there. I prefer him at tackle as well. I'll tell you, Nate Davis was a blue chipper last year with the personal issues and injury. We can't put him there. So right now we're dealing with 8. Right?
You said DJ Moore, right? Yeah.
Yeah, DJ Moore.
Jack Sanborn?
Only for Logan. Only Logan has that. Only Logan has him as a blue chipper.
Stevenson? Tyreek Stevenson?
Tyreek Stevenson is almost there, man. Almost there. I'll be honest. He's a special kind of football player.
DeAndre Swift?
I don't see him as a blue chipper. In fact, I was a little disappointed. I would imagine, and I know a lot of people don't like this, but for me, can you imagine Derrick Henry on this football team running the
Jeez.
Like, I couldn't believe they just didn't get involved with that, because it was like, oh my fucking, you talk about moving the chains and going off action with that guy running inside and outside zone. That's what he does. Toss to him. DeAndre Swift wasn't my favorite signing, but we'll see. I understand his speed. Is anybody willing to put DeAndre Swift in the chat as a blue chip? Lunatic says he's a B+ back.
Well, now he says he's a B++ back.
Oh, he's going plus. Then you have him as a blue chipper. I don't. Well, Lunatic, you just said B++. That's a blue chip.
He might be talking about somebody else, Phil. Might be. Yeah, there might be multiple conversations. Well, I'm sure there are multiple.
I don't think he's bad. I definitely don't want to say that I think he's a bad player. I just don't think. And I listen, Stevenson's right there. If this dude comes in here, DeAndre Swift, we got 15 minutes left, and balls out, then he has the ability. Oh, thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
$2 from Bill. DDP and Ivan, both blue chippers, on this surprise pop-up show. We're going to end it with this mock, but before we do, I'm going to ask you guys. Some of you don't subscribe, but if you do, obviously, as you know, aside from doing this network and the shows and all that, head coach of this youth nonprofit football team. We have rebranded our football team, as I've said, and you can click on this link, give.thetapeneverlies.com, or shine your phone up to that QR code. It'll take you. We are now the Southington Wolverines. Every dollar counts for us as we rebrand to the Wolverines from the Venom. There was a negative connotation with the term Venom in our town, and we are on the other side of the tracks. And I'll let you use your imagination when you have people that look down on the other side of the tracks. So as we rebrand, we need every dollar. And I am telling you, the doubt that I had when I said, listen, my fans, our fans at TTNL will go out there and help us. And I had people in tears worrying about this because we might not have a football program, that I'm going to bring it to my platform. Why not? I have one, and this is for a great cause and a bunch of amazing kids and families. So if you could donate $5, $10, I've seen some people have been so generous. I can't thank you enough. You have made people on this board not only surprised and shocked, but they are planning to do something very special for every person who donates, because they're so overwhelmed that these donations are coming from other countries and other cities in the country supporting this team. And I honestly say it with tears in my eyes, emotion in my face, that you guys would go out of your way to do this. But a helmet costs $350, and it's not even a great one. That's the cost that we're dealing with and facing. So if you could go over there and give, if you got it, not a pressure. I was kind of hesitant, but Jim Larison and Shane Marsaw were like, no, you're right, do it. And then when I have doubters that don't believe in the power of TTNL, I'm like, look at what they did now. So we are up to, let's see, $5,405. And it just went up while we were on the show to $5,705. Wow. Chris Padilla, Tim Rubino, Jonathan Petrosky. Look at my daughter. My daughter, Isabella, threw $50 to this. She must be watching right now. Holy shit. The power, social media, and our show is amazing, man. Thank you so much if you've taken the time to do that. And again, I will shout you all out and truly appreciate it. Here we go. So, Ivan, Brock Bowers is a blue chipper. Talius Fuaga is a blue chipper, in my opinion. Byron Murphy is a blue chipper. We got 3. We got Fatanu, that's 4. Verse is 5. Olu is 6. Did I miss? Did I call out Latu Latu?
No, you didn't, but Latu Latu is there.
So that's 7. And then we have Lad McConkey. That's 8 spots that we could move down if you're willing to take Lad there and get another pick. Is anybody willing? That's how we would do it, Jason. That's how we would do it in our discussion. Or are we so in love with one of these players like Ivan's talking about, and it's a true story? Now we're going, okay, is it Latu or Verse? Is it Latu or Verse? Let me call the doctor. Let's call Angelo again. Make him no. Doctor. Yeah, we're coming up right here. What is your final answer? The Falcons are on the clock. They just took Roma Odunze. We're on the clock. I need a final answer on Latu. We're good there? 100%. Yes? Okay. Boom. I hang up. Guys, doctor says we're good. Now the whole room knows. We got 15 minutes to decide, right? That's what goes on. So we take it Bowers, Latu, or any of those guys. Now let's go to the Holy Trinity now. We went to the Holy Trinity, right? Quarterback, pass rusher, offensive tackle. So that takes Bowers out of the conversation based on that. So can we trade down, believing that some team is going to come up there and trade for Bowers? Are we willing to lose Jared Verse or Latu in the Holy Trinity? This is the strategy that you have to have. Is anybody willing to trade? Are you willing to trade me and Ivan as blue chipper? No. Vincent Sanso Fangu. That's a swear in Italian. Are you willing to trade away from Jared Verse, Ivan? You in the scout room. Are we willing? Because if we trade, even the only safe is the Jets. Okay. They want to trade up because we're on the phone with another team. Guys, we want to get Bowers for Aaron Rodgers. Okay, we're cool because we don't want Bowers. We want Verse. Now we could trade down one to the Jets. Right?
Right. So the safest would be the Jets, obviously. I don't know if the Vikings, they've been rumored to be trading up. Obviously here they have not, but what I'm thinking is you could probably get away with anywhere right here and still get a Verse or a Latu. I think if you
in this scenario, the doctors have approved, even though Jason is like, doctors are wrong. They are. I get it. But our doctors are paid highly to be cautious. So if he's saying yes, that really means, okay, it's been totally vetted and we're good. So this is going to be your draft, Ivan. I'm going to play the role as coach and you're going to be the GM. So I broke down our board. Let's just go with our board. Right now, our best players. Brock Bowers is the highest ranked player on our board. Behind him, based on what I said, tape, and now the doctor's approval, is Latu. Behind him is Verse, Olufashanu. Then it's Byron Murphy. Then it's Fuaga. Then Fatanu. That's how I have them ranked based on our need. So are you willing to trade down with the understanding that we might get a second round pick player and miss out on our higher ranked blue chippers? That's the question. Would you, especially you, because I know you like are the GM.
Yeah.
So
I would, like I said, I want to maximize, especially if you're talking about a guy like Lad McConkey, maybe a guy, Robin Wilson could be there for you, especially if you want to add on the offense. I would say if there's a partner, if it's Denver for some reason, that would be perfect because I think you could still get Verse, you could still get Latu there. The only thing that I would say right here is this Minnesota Vikings, they could be in the market if they stood at 11 for a guy like Verse, for a guy like Latu, having lost Danielle Hunter to free agency. So that's kind of like the dangerous game we're playing. For me, I would like the Raiders, the Saints, and the Colts are all intriguing. It's just what do the Vikings want to do? I believe the Broncos want to go attack offense, and I think the Jets would go and attack offensive line as well. So I could see one of the defensive ends falling to one of these three spots, 13, 14, or 15. It's a gamble, but I would want to recoup as much draft capital as possible. And it just so happens that these three teams want to make a trade. So
you are going to be able to trade down. Coach Dre, $5. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate the free one because I can't make the paid ones. Laugh out loud. I get it, bro. Hopefully you can make it tomorrow night when we go live on Patreon tomorrow night and break down these edges that we're talking about. 3 blue chippers, 1 with an asterisk. In Dallas Turner, we're going to the tape. Jared Verse, me and Ivan's guy, and Latu. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock East. At 7 o'clock Central. Scottish Bear, I don't know what time that is on your side of the town. Good shout, guy. We still need a tackle. Okay. But here's where Ivan is risking it all. I'll say this. We have Braxton Jones. We always want to get better, 100%. Who do we have opposite of Montez Sweat right now on the roster? Dominique Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy with that?
No.
No. So that becomes the big circle on the board. We have an opportunity on our board, me and Ivan, even though Turner went. Where did he go in this mock?
Turner hasn't. Did he go?
Oh, he didn't go.
No, Turner
I was
hasn't.
thinking about the first. So Turner is in the building here as an opportunity. So we got all three at a position of need. You're going down how many spots?
I would go as far as since the only ones that are offering.
Yes.
Are
only ones are offering.
Yeah,
Vegas?
I would go as far as 13. That would be my limit. And I would ask, so it'd be 13, 44 for the 9. They're at 34% chance.
They won't give us their second?
They won't give us their second.
So offer the trade. See what they say here.
Well, they accepted.
They accepted the trade. So now Ivan has risked because they could get up there and take Verse or one of our guy. Let's see what happens here. Was Ivan's risk worth the reward? See where they go. Dallas Turner, one of the blue chippers, is gone.
I pause it.
Paused it. Now we're waiting. Now secretly, I'm getting nervous because I'm worried. Are one of these fucking teams, now there's 3 more that we got to wait. And there's only 2 pass rushers in the Holy Trinity left. Let's go. Resume it again. 3 teams picking before you. Olu went. He was one of our blue chips. Thank God they took a corner, and here we are. The risk paid off for Ivan Var. Me and Ivan are high-fiving because we know exactly what we're going to do right now. We are going to run up and get Jared Verse for your Chicago Bears. And that is how you play the draft, Ivan. Let's resume it because we're going to do 44.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see how this goes. You could speed it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, speed it. Chop Robinson, Xavier Worthy went in the first. And here we are. Who do we have on our board?
Led McConkey.
And there's our blue chipper, coach. And look at that. We got 3 blue chippers with Ivan Vargas taking the risk. Now you can get more.
Mm-hmm. 75.
You can take Jalen Wright here.
Yeah, Jalen Wright at running back.
Oh, my God. Look at Ivan Vargas and Coach Ottochian cooking.
Yeah, we'll take Jalen Wright.
Fucking jealous. Take him. And we took. And Jalen Wright could end up becoming a blue chipper, bro.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking the Bears.
Our last pick, right?
Yep, last pick.
Our last pick. Oh my God, Cam Hart is a good pick.
Yeah, I like Cam Hart.
Oh man, and there's Shane's boy, Leonard Taylor, the high upside 3 tech. You can get one of the best slots in this draft. He's strictly a slot, Malik Washington. I would go Mo right here and get another pass rusher, bro. Kamara is like a workman. Watching him, that's as the coach, I would go, okay, let's get another pass rusher.
Right.
I know we didn't get an offensive lineman, right?
No offensive lineman. I'm kind of torn between
You could go Cooper BB.
Yeah, I'm torn between Taylor and BB just because I would like to put. I want to solidify.
Jack
I want to make sure
Minter,
all of
remember?
those. Yeah, I want to make sure all of the. I mean, both lines are really cushioned with depth.
Show the offensive line.
Yeah, 1 second. This is the interior.
Trevor Keegan, Zinter, BB, Nugent. Okay, out. Let's see tackle, because BB is like Shane said, it could be Cody Whitehair moving the tackle.
Right. Here's the tackles.
Yeah, the tackles. The tackles lack. There was no Fisher in there. I thought maybe Fish. Yeah, I would pass on the tackles. And then wide receiver and pass rusher. Malik is a great slot. Taj is Luke McCaffrey is underrated here.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the pass rushers now. Xavier Thomas. For me, I'm taking Mo Kamara. I really fucking think. But
I'll take him.
You took him. You took him.
For my coach.
For my coach. You did it for the coach. You got me another pass rusher. People are upset that we didn't take any offensive linemen. But I'll tell you what.
We signed a bunch.
We signed 3 of them. And I think you did an amazing job. And I think we did a great job calling out the Caleb bullshit today. In a pop-up show. This is what we do on our patron side all the time. And look at Ivan's scores. Ivan Vargas. You got 2 pass rushers in there. You got a fucking starting receiver that's going to be utilized. And you got a possibility at a starting running back in round 3 at Jalen Wright. Obviously, you got King Caleb. I'm just telling you, what you did today for me is, as a coach, makes me really, really happy. What says you, the fans, before we get out of here? Anybody PFF rates you that high, it's probably a bad sign. Sean Stewart. I love Sean Stewart. Sean Stewart's doing some graphics for us.
Hell yeah.
He's been doing some graphics for us. I thought maybe I forgot we're on the pop-up show side, so I can't pull one up. But
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Ivan, I'm so damn proud of you, says Ben Ricketts. Looks good, says Noah T, as he's kissing the Super Bowl trophy. Scottish Bear. The Bears are better, Ivan. A+. He would have taken Alt before a Dunze, but Alt was already off the board. So he couldn't come. Hold on. Sean's back. Instead of Kamara, I would have go D-line. Kamara is D-line, Hendricks.
He might have meant interior.
Oh, I'd be ecstatic with this outcome. He's came back. He's came back. Still live. Oh, he's catching up. Our guy. Anthony Pageant gave you an A+. Who have you talked to Anthony yet? Because he's gonna help out with cutting tape. Has he reached out to you?
Yeah, Anthony, we talked was it
okay.
yesterday? Yeah, Anthony's gonna be doing the tape, some tape. He's already
him out?
Game. Yeah, he's already had a general idea of how to do it. And yeah, he's doing it right now.
He's doing it right now. Who's better? Who's got it better than us? Nobody, Cherie. Nobody. How about this new graphic that I made? That's nice. Right. TTNL draft coverage. Like today, if you're not a patron, you need to go right now to the tapeneverlies.com, sign up, become a patron. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, Coach O, myself, Shane Marsaw, maybe some others, jumping on to break down these 3 prospects before Easter Sunday. If you celebrate Good Friday and the religion, I wish you all the best. Good Friday, happy Easter. If you don't, thank you for tuning in with us today. The Chicago Bears, I don't know if you know, but we know and have known for a long time that they are taking Caleb Williams. And we are very, very happy about that. This is why. Yes, the chants of "We want Caleb" as Green Bay was chanting "Keep Justin Fields" have changed here at TTNL, leading the cause along with our boys Cap and Hood and several other people now that are catching up to us, or the flip-floppers. You guys aren't flip-floppers. You guys are amazing fans. Once again, I want to thank everybody that jumped on live for the pop-up show, especially this guy next to me, Ivan Vargas. You can check out his show, Another Bears Show. I freaking sent you all those graphics and none of them are on my desktop, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. But anyway, I will be more prepared next time. We have broken down free agency with Free Agency Frenzy. Yes, we broke down Joe Alt. We did that. And we even broke down why this guy would be your starting center with former Chicago Bears offensive lineman Big Steve Edwards, who, by the way, also will be on the show. We talked about this. This is the haul. We've talked about this guy. He is not the best quarterback in this draft. I'm sorry, Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky getting paid by the agent to say that. This guy we broke down all around. This will be your quarterback. You guys have donated. We have said it all today in this pop-up show here on TTNL. All the blog boys, all the haters can go.
Tell you shit in your hat and get the hell off the field.
That's right, Dad. Tell them to shit in their hat and get the hell off the field, as we are going to get the hell off this show. Follow Ivan Vargas. What's your ats, Ivan? I'm trying to get up there. I thought they were turned on. There we are.
There it is.
At Ivan V _TTNL. Follow me on Instagram. I'm doing a lot of stuff over there on Instagram. I got to start going live on Instagram a little bit at Phil _Ottochian. Let me spell it out for Angelo Joseph Marino. O, T as in Thomas, T as in Thomas, O, C as in Charlie, H, I as in India, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy. Anyway, a lot of fun with you guys. Before we go out of here, Ivan, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I will be at opening day on Monday.
Wow.
So if any TTNL heads are gonna go check out the Cubs and you see me out there, I'll be bouncing around, place to place. I'll probably most likely be at Murphy's. But if you guys want to pop up and say hello, if you're there for the Cubs game, obviously do that. I'm going to, unless something pops up, I'm going to go back on air next week. We'll have this new start time. So I'm going to be starting at 11 a.m. from now on. So we're going to be moving the show to a more permanent time slot.
That's 11 a.m. Central Time.
11 a.m. Central Time, noon Eastern. So it'll be a more permanent slot. That way we could get more involved. Everybody else can jump in. Phil can jump in. Shane can jump in. It kind of opens up things for me to have, everybody get involved with the show and have more of an audience. So I'm looking forward to it. So next week I'll be kicking it off on Monday, 11 a.m.
Awesome.
So check it out.
Check it out. Another Bears show. We're also going to be having the Big Steve, the Bear Down with Big Steve Edwards show. We're working on all. Ron G has done an amazing job with all the backgrounds and graphics with me. Max AO, my boy, has been producing a new song to go along with Big Steve's show, and I'm producing the video to it, and we're getting it ready. So the Bear, some of you have been asking, the Bear Down with Big Steve. Big Steve's going on his honeymoon, so we're postponing it until he gets back from that. So congratulations to him and his beautiful wife. They finally get to get away.
Awesome.
And then that show will start up on Monday evenings, so you can chit chat with Big Steve. Maybe he brings you on, has a discussion with you. I know he's upgrading his internet.
Yeah.
All that stuff is going on. Then Cars Keys will be back. We're going to do a live patron mock draft coming up. If you're going to be a GM, and how I forget how me and Shane are going to do it. Then draft week, we always do the fight night between me and Shane. Cars comes on and plays the role like Ivan as the GM. And all of our guests will be there. This next week, Courtney Cronin will be on Keeping It 100, jumping on to talk about all of this stuff. Become a patron, tapeneverlies.com. We're out of here. See you guys. I hope you enjoyed the pop-up show. I enjoyed doing this with you. Smash the like button. Give a subscription. Stop being a hater. Jump on in. We only remove ignorance. We don't remove debate.
Playmaking standpoint from